about the spit. It doesn't go in very well. What's going on?
2022.
Yeah.
Looks like I think it's gonna be the biggest year in arm wrestling history. On first 3 months, we already are so spoiled.
Yeah. No, it's getting better and better, obviously, because of the exposure with the internet and the craziness of all the ways to put it online.
All night?
I think
Are
so.
you on YouTube as well?
I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. Who's the master? Who's the master here? Is it Raymond?
Give me a second. I'll check it.
Raymond is the master.
Yes, we are live.
We have two masters here. One is you, and the other one is Raymond's.
No, we're all masters. You're the master of making more matches. Not going to sleep.
Yeah, I've yet to be able to pull this off the Zoom live, so I need to do it. I need to start having guests on the old YouTube instead of me just talking for an hour and answering questions. That gets a little tiring and old.
It prepares us for our next step in our careers, stand-up comedy.
Right. No, it seems much more relaxed how what's his name does it. Yeah. Oh shit, I'm losing my mind. Anyway, yeah, it's a lot more easy to have someone to talk to than just be talking to yourself.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Always. Always.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so if we start, how is everything, John?
Everything's good. I'm feeling good. I
relaxing.
233 last night, so my weight's coming down. I'm within striking distance of actually probably I could probably start eating normal again and do the water weight thing and make 2.25. So I don't think it's going to be a problem. But I don't want to be traveling on the airplane and we're not being able to eat anything or drink anything or do anything like that. So I don't know. When's
230? 230 is fair enough because you're losing total of 20 pounds, and I think that we should not ask
in a month.
Yeah, I mean it's very unfair, come on.
No, are you guys still pulling? Are you guys still pulling?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I think the March event in
March 17th
still on. I hope. But this is the third try, so I'm crossing my fingers that it's going to work out and everything is going to. COVID's not going to creep back into our lives, and there will be some reason why it can't happen again. But yeah, no, I'm expecting to do the trip. I've got the time off. I got the vacation. So
yeah, we are talking about the East versus West today.
Oh, okay. So yeah.
That is different. We're talking about the Zoloev match.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Ray asked if we were pulling, so I just had to throw that out there.
I know.
I think we still are pulling.
I'm telling the Raimonds not to change the subject, and not to put pressure on me.
Yeah. Yeah, looking forward to making the trip. I think we're leaving on Wednesday, so we'll get there on Thursday. The weigh-ins are going to be the day of the event or the day before?
Yeah, Friday.
Friday day before. Oh, okay, so
day before.
I need to figure out how to do the water thing a little bit if I have to for a Friday. So Friday afternoon, Friday evening. What's the plan? Friday morning.
Okay, there is a super chat.
I think we'll ask editors when they're coming.
Yeah, it is the same thing that we were talking about. It is saying that hello Angie, this is Mohammed. If John shows up in Turkey 230 pounds instead of 225, what are you going to do? Will the fight still happen? No, we're gonna put a gun on John's head and force him to run. You're
gonna put me in a rubber suit and make me run the streets of Turkey. I don't know. That'd be fun.
I mean, you're already losing 230 is fine. Just lose 20 kilos is more than enough. 9 kilo. 9 kilo.
Yeah. No. I'm good. My energy level's good. It was down the first couple of weeks, but it's creeping back to a decent level now. So had a good practice in Utah yesterday. Jordan Sill didn't show up, but I got to pull with Kody and Craig Toulier, and yeah, so it was good.
Robert Baxter,
yeah, he was tough. Yeah, he's always tough. He's getting. I don't know why he's getting into such good shape so early, but I could tell that he's strong and big. So he's already preparing for the Worlds in September. So good for him.
Yeah, it's gonna be in Turkey, Antalya.
Okay. Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm. I got no aches and pains other than the shoulder was popping a little bit last night, which had gone away with a little bit of extra weight, but now it's back to creaking and popping Robert.
John,
yeah, it's just arthritis. I guess it's just not stable enough to really keep everything in place, and that labrum, I guess, or that joint still must have some bone spurs or something in it that kind of just ratchets along. Cluck, 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 cluck. But it normally happens as I'm fatiguing, so it's obviously the muscles that aren't able to keep that shoulder completely in the proper place. So
how long does it take, John? How long does it take it to become okay again? A few weeks?
Well, I mean, when it happens, it's irritating. It's just not like it. I mean, it's just a little scary that and I could tell that that's the point where I'm fatiguing and the shoulder is giving out. But the next day, 2 days, 3 days, like today, it's I woke up having to toss and turn in bed, because it was sore. It's inflamed. It gets inflamed when it does that. So.
No, what I mean, like how long later can you force again that shoulder? Next week you can still.
Yeah. No, if I manage the inflammation, I mean, it takes a little bit to warm up, and it's I need to mask it a little bit more, but yeah, no, I'll pull with it again the next week. It's I've been able to manage the pain a little bit better in the last 6 months. So yeah. But it's still there. But I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm not, I'm done with the surgery. That labrum surgery was a mess. So won't do that again. I'm not going to be cut into anymore. So.
Well, was the surgery from the same area or different area?
Well, the whole shoulder got redone. I went in because of the inflammation, and I went to a couple guys, and I guess I didn't go to the right guy because one of the guys said, "Oh yeah, we'll do an MRI and and yeah, the labrum was torn, and once he got in there, he realized that it was completely torn other than just a bicep tendon. But I know when I had torn it throwing a softball when I was only like 20 years old, so I had lived with it for 20 plus years. But he decided to completely detach all the scar tissue and clean it completely out, and then 6 anchors and re-secure it. And then I struggled, of course, a year and a half, 2 years. I was still very weak in the shoulder to try to, it's just a long process to get the strength back. But I still basically had the same inflammation, the same problems. And other shoulder surgeons, said, no, just by the x-rays, we could tell you just got 80-year-old shoulders. I mean, you just got arthritis really bad, and that's going to pop and crack and do that type of thing. And you probably didn't really need the labrum surgery, especially if it was 20 years old, because the scar tissue and everything that, that was built up in that area for it was probably making it way more stable than it is now, even after being fixed. So I was like, oh well, great. Where were you 2 years ago when I when I had this problem? But what do you do? I mean, you try to fix things, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. So
there's a super chat. Thank you, Hanster. Hey Engin, what match are you looking most forward to? All of them. I can say, if I say one of them, then it will not be true.
Yeah. Engin loves them all equally.
Yeah. And Kevin Courage, thank you for super chat. John, don't get in Engin's taxi. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I do remember last time I was in Turkey, the traffic was crazy. Like there was no separation, there was no lines in the road. Everybody was doing this and that, and this like, how do you manage? Yeah,
probably in Istanbul. Yeah,
in the downtown area, it was like that anyway. Though I remember, the freeways were, big wide open freeways, and I do remember the guy that drove me back to the airport. He was pretty aggressive on, coming up on the other slower cars, like, hey, you pull over because I'm going to run you over if you don't pull over, type of.
How many times did you come here? Twice, right? You came one time for Artem, another time for Krasimir.
Correct. Yeah, correct. Twice.
Yeah. And there's another super chat. Thank you, Whitehead. Hi, Engin. Thank you so much for organizing the upcoming event. I am more excited for that than for the football World Cup. Yeah, me too. In the past, I loved it, but now I don't like it. So too much hooliganism, And now arm wrestling is the only one for me. Anyway, so if we come to Zoloev Khadzimurat, looks like you just recently didn't have a positive experience from one side, but he also didn't. We talk about Genadi versus Michael, and talking about the two injured lions, because of their last match, and now we also have the two of the greatest. Of course, you are the greatest by far, but he's also, if you put the top 10 list, he is there as well. And he also went to Bulgaria for the World Championships. Everyone was expecting him to win, but he lost. He took second place, and so he's also coming here. He doesn't lose often, No. You can only, it's less than the fingers of your hand, that he lost in his category in last near 20 years. So you and him, you pull in A1 in 2015. I will ask you something. Okay, you guys went to strap and he tried to top roll you. I saw that with your bottom fingers, you very good control his front wrist, and then he looked very helpless. He even let the match go. He just didn't.
I'd have to rewind or watch the video of it, but I do remember it being very, very close. It was just like a hair one way or the other, and I was able to manage. It wasn't like a overpowering top roll.
Just go watch it again.
It was very, and it was very. I remember it being very close, and I was like very relieved, like, it came my way, I got it, and
but you both went, and then you just took him. And then you even stopped there, and he just waited. He just let it go. You remember the Raimonds?
Yeah.
I'm watching it now.
But I think
it's not possible to put there, huh? It's not possible to put the top roll versus top roll on the screen.
Give me a second. You guys keep talking.
And that was in the strap, so that wasn't
all of them. I think all of them were in strap. Maybe the one in the hook. Yeah, but the one that he forced you in hook. So we were not sure if he forced you in hook from there. You took him and put him. Didn't really top roll. He didn't really take the risk, but still your pronator control. But his wrist didn't look like this, but more like open his arm. And I don't know if he forced you to hook or you just
he did.
He did.
He forced me to hook.
Yeah.
That seems to be the case with most people that I've been pulling lately. Is they've been able to dictate the match, which is concerning to me, but I don't know what to do about it. I watched, even though I felt like I was going to try to hit real and be real fast, even with Devin, and then watching the footage, I'm like, they just said goal. We kind of tightened up, and it was just like a slow pressure. There was no deep breath hit ever. So I don't know if that's just going to be gone forever or what, but
I think that with you and Devin, just because you both didn't have the wrist control, so it seemed like you were not sure, like if you should move quick, that maybe you were afraid of losing your wrist. So, but when once you realized that it stopped there, so with your pronator, you still
was able to go
down, to that part probably. This is what I am thinking. You hit when you have wrist. When you don't have wrist, you are more like control first and then slow. Even with the Denis Chiplenko, 13 years ago, you didn't really hit him, as far as I remember, in a super match.
Right. No, I guess you're right. You got to have total control to feel like you can actually surge into it, which I didn't. I'm most concerned with Zoloev about the endurance thing. I know I'm watching him pull Todd Hutchings in Las Vegas. He's got crazy good endurance to be able to hang with Todd as big as and strong as he was for that Las Vegas match. So, and my endurance has been just pathetic lately, seemingly pathetic. And so even if I can get him a match or two, I'm still very concerned that he could get middle later rounds. So
yeah, but other if we make Devon exception about the endurance, when you look at your previous 3 super matches, you were not the one who got exhausted, but all your opponents, Chance and Dimitri and Pauline, you were not the one that started losing.
Right.
But they kind of get start losing. I think that there is nothing much, like
I prevailed, but I was gassed hard. I was breathing hard, and in the hand, especially the hand and wrist, and the forearm almost was numb, because
you lost the control.
Yeah, which has never
But
been
you
the case
still have
before.
what you needed to win the. Okay, you want to watch this, John?
Correct.
Can you see?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. See?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't look that hard as you remember, probably. Look at you will now see better. See, you took him, and then.
Yeah, it doesn't look very comfortable, but just the side pressure was able to take him out of position. Yeah, I don't remember with the first match without the straps. We must have just both pulled back and slipped real hard.
Like this, yeah.
Yeah. So that'll probably be just because he's dangerous enough and he has a good enough. There it is. Okay, good enough top roll that I won't attempt to try to hang on to him. So here we go again, back to the old straps, which
probably now is gonna go inside. This is the second round.
Yep.
Right, much. Yeah.
Yes.
See,
he hooks me.
See you again. Yeah.
Just pull with the thumb, through him.
Yeah.
But I'm heavy. I'm heavy there. I'm probably 240. That was,
Yeah.
So it'll be good.
Yeah. I'm sure about it. Yesterday or day before, probably yesterday. Arsen, Liliev, Krasimir, and Yanis. We did the program yesterday.
Okay.
And we all like thought that like outside ability of Zoloev, nothing compared to Dimitri Kachan. This is because Krasimir is a person that pulled with Dimitri Kachan even years ago. So I personally don't see Zoloev is top rolling you. Maybe you may little bit lose your wrist, but he will also lose, and then you are more experienced about this kind of pulling
that side pressure.
Yeah. So I think that his only chance is forcing a hook, but with the elbow injury that he recently had in WAF,
it might not be as powerful.
He may be healed up, but being healed up and then bringing your joint to the level that having an incredible joint pressure. I don't know if it is possible. Right. There are 3 super chats. Thank you for them. The Hanster, hey John, who is stronger, Rob Vision Jr.'s hand or Matt Mask's hand?
Oh, well, different times that I pulled them, but the last time I pulled Matt in WAL, he was strong, very fired up, and very difficult. If I were to bet on those 2 guys, I would have to give the edge to Matt Mask, just because he's a bigger guy. He's bigger, he's thicker. Rob's probably a little bit better in a hook, but
Rob has more like wrist control, full hand control, while the Matt is just more like posting type of, Another question by Kevin. Thank you for super chat. After Todd's performance with Lachlan, John, how does a match with Todd looks like in your opinion? Probably meaning you versus
with me. Yeah. Well, Todd's always been tough. Todd's been tough 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. So I know exactly how tough Todd is. So it wasn't a surprise to me to see him beat Lachlan. I mean, Todd, in my opinion, there's only a couple guys inside that has more side pressure. I mean, he's in my opinion, he's as strong as Devin and Cataret, and obviously Matt Mask, he pulls through. Corey West now, and I mean, there's only one guy that I can think of that can outmatch Todd Hutchings, and that's Dave Chafee as far as just
I
strength.
think you see the match
goes.
with Jerry Cadoret. I think Jerry was way too much for Todd Hutchings.
But I
whenever,
think
whenever he wanted to go inside, Jerry just boom,
smashed him down.
Yeah. He even tried to top roll.
I think that's more stylistically. How would they go arm to arm or wrist to wrist?
Why would we compare him with a super
Exactly.
heavyweight? For his weight class, especially in a slow start, I don't think anyone can beat him inside in the world.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So, I mean, to answer that question, I think I have chances against Todd Hutchings. I think I still have the chances that Zoloev had against Todd Hutchings. I mean, if the situation is right and I can get outside of him and I'm aggressive and healed, I think I can beat Todd at least a couple matches. Whether or not I can outlast him in a super match format for 6 matches, that's a whole another question. But I think I'm obviously I feel like I'm capable of still, pulling with Todd. I wouldn't say that, that I could, I'm
the biggest problem is not taking his risk, but the biggest problem is finishing him, right?
Finishing him still after taking his risk. You can't let it stop. You can't rest. I can't look at him and say, okay, give up. You're out of position, because that's not happening. It just makes him madder. So
and another one. What's that? Insane? Okay, whatever. I thank you for super chat. John or Engin, did you ever pull the New York City legend Jason Whale back in the day? What can you say about him? Rest in peace. Jason passed away. You know that, right?
Yeah, no, of course I've pulled Jason. And I think you have too, haven't you?
I pull him in a practice. I pull him.
Practice only? Oh, okay.
But you pull him in Idaho.
When the scale was all messed up, and I was going to pull the heavier class because I went up there with my brother, and I didn't want to pull the same class as Bill. I was going to pull the heavier class. He was going to pull the 200-pound class, and the scale was all completely so messed up. And I was like, well, if you're going to weigh me in at 189 or something, whatever the scale weight, I said, that's the weight class I'm in. And so I ended up pulling the lighter weight class. Had no business because I was actually way heavier than that. But so I got a chance to pull Jason. Yeah. And just a different beast when he was in the straps. I mean, he had great arm strength. His hand strength wasn't as good, but he could really apply a tremendous amount of back pressure once he got in the straps. So he was very, very, very deadly good in the straps.
I remember that in the final you didn't allow him to go to straps.
No, I didn't want him to go to straps because it just felt very, very unusual and uncomfortable.
Yeah. And I saw him saying at the Petaluma 1997 World Wrestling Championship, where he beat, I think, both Matt Garner and Eric Wolfel there.
Yeah. But
it's
who else has that ability? I mean, there's been only, I guess, a few that have really been that drastically different straps, no straps. I guess Brian's kind of that way. He can apply a lot more of his arm strength once he gets locked in and secures it with the lower part of his wrist with the strap. He's very good at that. But I mean, if you're not super strong, I mean, people ask me about, my hand's small. I have a hard time dealing with bigger guys and I don't have the hand strength. Well, my always suggestion is develop a good strap game, get really comfortable in the strap and practice pulling it with knuckles high and developing that hammer curl strength, because that can negate a lot of the inability of a strong hand.
Yeah, White Wolf ask you a question, John. Thank you for super chat. John, if you feel your arm blew up against Devon after that first round, will 6 months of training fix that? And do you change your training?
I hope that I can fix it and get back to. I'm actually quite surprised that it's the thing that's been lacking the most since I've been somewhat retired. That's taken a long time to get back to, what I remember it being. But I don't know. yes, I haven't really done any training outside of just arm wrestling a lot. When I arm wrestled Chance, it was probably just a month or so of pulling with Dustin. No cables, no wrist stuff. And then basically just arm wrestling here and there and doing a lot of wrestling because I had 2 other super matches. So I got a couple, 3 weeks in of training again, arm wrestling, and then we would rest a couple weeks. And obviously the super matches were strenuous enough that I felt like I was progressing or getting stronger because of the super matches. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I worry that the problem is that it's not so much my hand strength or the development of training with just the hand. It's also the fact that I'm just older and lazy as hell as far as activities go and cardio. I don't, I get winded now when I walk a mile, so go up an incline or a flight of steps. So it's also the heart that's also weak that I need to really concentrate and fix. But this time of the year, nicely enough that I do a lot of snowmobiling, and I'm always breathing hard while I'm snowmobiling. So I'll go 4 or 5 hours of wrestling that snowmobile around, and at the end of the day, I feel like, the next day, 2 days later, I'm like, I'm in better shape. I'm in a lot better shape just from snowmobiling. So hopefully I'll have a little bit more endurance come my match with Zoloev. But I know what I need to do. I know what I need to fix. It's just, will I do it? And
I think that we need like endurance from the outside of table, as you said, those kind of cardio type of trainings. But it doesn't allow to cover the endurance that we need at the table. That with the it's not that perfect the same endurance, right? That when you have a tough match, it's just because you run or you walk like every day 10 kilometers. It doesn't mean that I always believe that you really need to feel the same amount of pressure in the trainings that you will feel at the competition to have that kind of endurance. Yeah,
right. And it's a huge difference between being the offensive guy that gets a great position, and then the other guys struggling and hanging on. And I've been on the other side of that coin now. I'm the guy that's trying to control and hang on, and be the guy that's trying to control the offensive guy. So I need to maybe it's just a little tiny bit of extra strength to get that back where I'm the guy that's got the bow and in a relaxed position, and put the other person out of position that they gas so quickly. Huge difference between being the guy that's trying to control and control somebody that's just leaning back and just being offensive and not really having that kind of strain on their hand and wrist. So it's a little trickery there, but I definitely recognize that fact that I'm the guy that's trying to get a hold and control. Well, at least in the last couple of super matches I've had.
I think that I usually train with people who are a little bit weaker than me if I want to train my defensive strength, that I allow them apply pressure and I control them, and then whenever I want to train my offensive power, then I train with people who are stronger than me, and they allow me to apply my pressure. You understand? And then because I think we need both of them. We need, because sometimes we are applied strength, and we also need to apply to win. So I think we need to train.
But you know how it is, and even in a match or a practice, being just a little bit out of position and still trying to fight for the win versus having total control and almost being in a relaxed position, and then the other guy trying to save the match or to fight.
Even if I'm stronger, I allow them. Like, for example, I never train my pronator like by taking people's wrist. Like even if I know I can, I don't let my pronator to go that way either. But I just wait in a position that my pronator is still with me, and the guy doesn't lose his wrist, and he can apply pressure. So whenever he applies pressure, so my pronator people just gets out of the hand. I believe at that point your training is finished there. He took
Right.
the risk. There's no pressure. So I allow them to put pressure, so that then it's getting a block there.
Right.
That's how.
But would you train purposely to have your wrist a little bit cocked back and be like
not
that?
But like straight to in.
But that's the mistake. I mean, in some of the matches that I've had recently, I'm still fighting, even though I've gotten a feeling like I'm not in a position I shouldn't be fighting from that position. I mean,
you mean in the super match or the training?
Yes, in the super matches.
But that's how you won all those three super matches. You didn't have the full risk control.
I had no choice. But that's the reason. That's the reason why
you are the greatest of all time.
Well, that's the reason the endurance factor feels like I'm just like pathetic the next match. It's because I've redlined in just a very awkward position that just makes it really impossible.
I believe, John. I believe that training too much of pronator and then starting the application from here is bad for the wrist. I believe. I think the wrist control needs to come first before the pronation application, and then if you start everything from here, I think that the application needs to start from the here of the opponent, then continue instead of just directly applying a.
Well, there's two thoughts to that. I mean, we were discussing this at practice yesterday up in Utah, or actually it was Saturday. Especially with the King's move, is it better to have your cup and sit like that? Because if you're doing this, you're flexing the forearm. There is some pressure on the forearm versus it just being flat and just using a pronator and just relaxing. Now you don't have any finger pressure or wrist curl to be blowing up the forearm. All you're doing is allowing that.
But you may lose your own wrist as well.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter though. It still applies a tremendous amount of pressure on your opponents.
But I saw Bob Brown was telling Craig, and then Bob was going, and then Craig was going side, and at the end Bob was losing the wrist. Because he was hitting there because he was not really controlling here. So that's how he was losing the wrist. Is what I saw.
Well, I find it still debatable, and the jury's still out on whether or not what's more taxing if you're going for the defensive pull, the defensive hold. Is it straight wrist with just pronator and just allowing the hand and wrist to be really relaxed, or is it still trying to cup while you're applying that King's move,
desperation move? And whenever you were pulling with Devon, it is not because Devon let you take his wrist whenever you pressure. You really, with the pressure that with the pronator you apply, he kind of lost his wrist as well. And then more you dive, but did you realize that whenever he open himself, he continue putting pressure to your pronator. So you even lost a little bit pronator. So that's probably why maybe you couldn't do the finishing shoulder pressure. Because I saw that he was also, did you realize at the end, he was like this.
Okay, right, yeah. No, because I switched from downward pressure on my wrist to trying to supinate to try to make the connection with his wrist, and that.
But he applied here. He didn't continue doing like this. He could have held his wrist flat as well if he wanted, but he didn't do that. He put pressure on your pronator, more your angle got worse to apply pressure. This is what I saw, but I mean, you would know better. You were there.
Yeah, no, I had to switch gears because the hand and forearm and the pin wasn't coming by just side pressure. So I have
a question for you. You guys said that before that event, you guys were talking about who's gonna have the buckle. You said, give me, if you are so confident, have the buckle there and there. And one of your YouTube videos after the event, you said you guys flip coin and you won, but they still put the buckle on your hand. How did it, if I were there, I would just say, no, I'm not pulling. Seriously, that moment I would just stop pulling. I'm not saying that I love those guys, everyone there. But if you flip coin, you won. The buckle.
But in my mind, in my eyes, from the beginning, even with all the talk about the rules, the promotion in the match was bigger than all of that. So I just had to basically say, okay, just another obstacle.
No, I mean,
Another
why
obstacle.
would
Let's just do whatever.
but why would
Yeah,
you
no.
flip coin? You know, that's
Well,
if you
they
come to
didn't.
that point.
They didn't communicate with each other. Obviously, I mean, we did the coin flip because that was part of the rules or what was agreed upon, and then as it came down to the actual, the actual match and the production, they had set it up completely different.
And
So
question: would it make difference on the round one?
Well, a tiny bit. I like not having the buckle on my hand. I feel like I can normally get a better grip on the setup, and I can apply better cup and back pressure and top roll. Maybe it's all mental, but I feel it's enough of a noticeable difference. Whether would it help me enough to win a match against Devin? Yeah, I don't know.
John, I will tell you honestly, my opinion. Like that first round was important because of that betting thing.
Yeah.
Other than that betting thing, the one round as a super match didn't mean anything. Like,
well, it meant something. It meant something.
Or 5-1. You know, what is the difference? 6-0 or 5-1.
No,
you know.
Well,
So,
it would
have won anyways.
Yeah. But it was a victory for me. It was in the situation that was. It would have been a victory in my mind. That I mean, I went in there just.
Yeah.
So,
I understand that part. But,
for everybody else, it would have been like, oh, yeah, he still got beat. He's still.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I don't understand all that. You know, like argument about it, about the round one. I mean, just say like it's 4-2. Still, they won. So, I mean, important is like not like how many rounds, who won, but who won at the end. This is what it matters at the end. But because of that betting, you know, I think that round one made all that argument. You know, that is what I saw.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, for me too, it would have been a personal victory. I went into the match thinking, yes, that I'll be super, super stoked. I mean, it was kind of my goal. I didn't really have the goal of, I mean, yeah, it would have been great if I could have won a couple of rounds or won the series, but in my mind, it would have been, just I would have been celebrating
from your side,
crazy.
From your side, I perfectly understand. But I don't understand the argument of thousands of people are doing, you know. I mean, for me, even if he would beat you 4-3 or something, he won that super match, you understand? Like there are super matches that you also won probably 4-2 or something, right? You beat Taras 4-2. Right. I mean, like, who cares, you know, if it's like, if Taras won 2 rounds, you are the one who beat him, you understand? So that day was better. And in my opinion, I said it, maybe people, maybe you get upset with me when I said that, you know, maybe Devon was heavier. And I think that what I believe, like your chance to beat him, just set 240. This is what he said. Remember on the live, he said, after he beats you, he's going to come down and beat you again in the same weight. So 240, like WAF rules, you close your hands and ready go. Nothing about that, this and that, you understand? I don't blame Devon either. I mean, like if that is the rules, I don't really know what the rules are. No. And if anyone accepted to go there and pull under that rules, like for example, Levan. If Levan goes there and loses because he gets exhausted, you know, because hand pump because of that, I mean, I can't blame Devon, you know. It is Levan knows where he's going
into the
exactly. He knows where he's an adult. He signed the contract. After that, whatever happens, you know.
Right. No, so and that's the way I look at it. It is what it is, and it's the challenge. If you're willing to accept that challenge in that situation, then you say yes. I mean, if you feel doubt or scared, or you feel like your reputation will be trashed, or whatever reason people come up with to say no, then you say no. But
yeah. I mean,
that's why the whole fighting of the rules and this and that and the other. It's fun to stir the pot, but at the end of the day, it was what it was, and you just got to accept it.
John, if you make a top 10 greatest ever arm master list, and other than you, the 9 people other than you, if we ask them who's the greatest of all times, they would just say you. So what I will ask you, if you, like, I don't know how much you care about this statue or not, but Um, if you were not by far the greatest arm master of all time, would you still not care about accepting like near mission impossible looking challenges? Like, would you be more playing secure, about the offers?
No, if you know, I think it's easier for people, or the desire is way more there when you're trying to climb the ladder. When you're trying to get recognized, people are willing to take on whoever. And once you've reached that position of notoriety, then I guess maybe that comes into play. But for me, it's still always been, every day is a new day. Every day is a different, So I don't know. I've gone into a lot of matches very unprepared and still did it just because of personal curiosity. Like, can I pull this off still?
It's what I'm saying. 4 years. After 4 years, you didn't lose one thing, that you are ready to step up against anyone. Here you are ready. I think that the only problem for you is like, losing weight or traveling. But other than that, if it is not like, like losing weight and traveling, how hard it is, I think you are still like ready to pull, almost anyone, as long as you know that you have some chance. And this is how you were.
Well, and I don't understand the people that would, because nobody's ever completely ready, right? Mentally, there always some self-doubt, and I mean, nobody would ever pull anybody if they were like, I'm not completely ready. I'm not sure. I'm not going. Well, we would never see any matches. I mean, so.
Yeah, but the things change now. People are like picking, like I remember you competing every event that, was paying good prize money award. You were going everywhere, anytime. You were going, depends, 4 or 5 categories you were pulling. But the things change now. People are just like once or twice a year.
And that would make sense to me. That I could accept that, and that would make sense if there was like, based on reputation or image, there was big endorsements, or you're making X amount of dollars, from social media and YouTube. Then maybe you gotta weigh that. Like, well, do I want a chance?
But there's not.
Yeah, but there isn't.
There is
not yet, anyway. Maybe there is here coming in the near future, but
there are a few super chats, and then I will let Raymond ask you a question. Hanster, thank you for super chat. Where would you rank Devon's left arm right now, and would you rank his left one of the best of all time? I would love to see him versus Kody Merritt left arm. John, they're asking
Devon's super strong, even though he says it's his party arm and he hasn't been training it or doing anything with it. It was super healed, felt rock solid. Like there was absolutely nothing I could do with his left arm. I would say that Devon is probably, I don't know what Levon is lefty. I don't know what any of the top guys are if they train Vitali, but Devon isn't far apart.
John,
right and left.
Before the injury, his left has some problem, Levon's, but his left is better than his right arm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there are challenges out there for Devon, but no.
No. He would beat Devon badly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Badly.
Devon's strong. Devon's strong left-handed. I'll say that. Devon's very strong lefty. I know Kody would not back down from the challenge of pulling Devon in a left-handed match, and he's deserving of it because Kody is a beast left-handed. But Devon is definitely, in my mind, would probably be a big favorite.
Raymond, when you say, like, when I said badly, you just wanted to mention, or you agree with it?
I just wanted to mention.
You disagree with that? Left arm?
I think so too. But you're like, he would beat him badly.
Yeah. With left arm at the WAF, we didn't see Levon losing. I don't remember, maybe once. I don't remember. With right arm, we have seen.
Yeah, like with right arm, like a lot before 2017, and after that, crazy.
Yeah,
What about the Kardashev versus Vitali and Levon? Is he that good? So dominant against Ermes, and Ermes is close. I think so too. Yeah, he's not that. I mean, like close, like within a year. He seems to be progressing a lot more quickly than the other two. So
you know how strong Ryan SP is. You know Ryan.
Yeah.
Pretty well. And that arm wasn't even close. There was nothing.
Right. It'll be interesting.
They pull left arm too.
Yes, both arms. I think
the more impressive is the beating Ryan lefty.
Ryan was huge. Like I kept seeing him huge, but now he was huge. And I remember Kurdecha walks in, and I'm like, dude, like two giants. And I thought, okay, we have to give edge to Ryan's left arm. Right arm, I think Kurdecha, and not even close. Just run through him.
Nathan Jones, thank you for super chat, but I think messages reacted. And one more, and then you can ask Serginho. Thank you for super chat. Looking forward to excellent event. You have put in Angie question for John. Ryan versus Ray, who wins?
Ryan Bowen?
Yeah, versus Ray.
I don't have any experience with you, Ray. Have we ever even ripped up? Have we
ever
touched hands?
But with left arm, I think. With left arm at your house.
Oh yeah, no, you're at the house. Yeah. Well, I was in a drunken state. I don't probably remember.
We all were in drunken state. Like every time a beer, beer was empty, you brought a new one and put it in my hand.
Yeah. At least my little comeback here, I've definitely curbed that 95%. I drink maybe once every week or so, or just a little bit, and it really doesn't taste good to me anymore. So that's been a healthy aspect of this little bit of arm wrestling training.
I remember we just got to your house, and you just bring out the beer, and it's dark beer.
Very, very, yeah.
And I drink it, and I'm like, this doesn't taste that good. Like,
but the second one, third one,
2 beers in, I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah. No, it's a little shock to your system, but yeah. But anyway, Ryan versus yourself. Ryan is very well. Did you pull with him? Was he here when you were here at the house? Yeah. So you got some experience. Well, you answer the question.
my opinion is left arm. Raymond would win, and right arm, I think. Ryan.
Ryan will admit that he sucks lefty. I don't know if he's actually trained his left anymore at all. But Ryan's a dangerous cat with the strap. It'll be interesting. I know Todd Hutchings just destroying Lachlan really makes everybody believe that RBJ will just destroy Ryan, but I think I'm just as strong as RBJ, and I would not take Ryan lightly if I got put in the straps with him. I mean, you better be on your shit because he's got a good sticking point. It's not really a king's move, but it's a dangerous enough sticking point where you could get embarrassed in a 6-round super match. My opinion.
Makes sense.
I don't remember how explosive you were, Ray. I mean, your only chance. My only chance against Ryan would be to make sure that the setup was correct and I beat him quickly without going to the strap. If he ended up somehow getting away from me and I had to go to the straps with him, I would be concerned. So.
Yeah, I'll ask you a question regarding the same topic we're talking about. When you were pulling Ryan last time he was in Arizona, were your shoulder really bad?
I was a pretty pathetic individual.
Exactly.
So I
think you kind of remembering your form there and you comparing it to now.
Yeah.
Because
Giannis would kill me. Giannis killed me that day over and over again. Well, no, it's not like I can hang.
And again, no. Giannis in a strap. Without the strap, he couldn't do anything. With the strap, yes. Everyone, Vlad, whoever we put the strap on you with, they killed you pretty much.
Yeah.
Without the strap, no one could have taken that hand. I remember Vladislav was like, he took your hand and you just like, he's like, what's this? Is it nothing?
So I think what Raymond is saying that, you know, you judging Ryan's level with the shape that you were.
I think his shoulder was so bad.
If you are concerned about Ryan, then don't come to Istanbul at all to Zoloev.
Yeah, no. But I'm just saying that Ryan has proven himself against, you know, Daniel Mosier, and I mean there was always the reasoning why, well, maybe he wasn't the, you know, the real Dan, and you know, Dallas Langston, and you know, the early rounds with you know, Chance Shaw even. I mean, so Ryan has proven that he can pull top guys that are his weight.
Oh no, there's no doubt about it. Just remembering with an injury feeling. Yeah. I think you're remembering how you felt when you were feeling weak.
And plus I'm falling into, like everybody else, thinking that Ryan is progressed better and faster and quicker than everybody else on the planet.
It's like,
obviously
like,
it's probably
I'm gonna
not
bet my house on
probably not true. The reality of the fact is that most people get that much better throughout their whole life. I mean, you are who you are, unless you're a newcomer to the sport and you're a newbie. Then I say, okay, well, come back in 3 years, we'll see what kind of arm wrestler you are. But once you've reached that maturity of 3-4 years, I think the changes of someone's ability really hilariously doesn't get much different. I mean, much better. And as much as they talk and say, this is a new me, it's a new version, I'm this, that, and the other, the reality is they're still the same person, right?
So who is saying that I'm the new one?
Well, everybody goes home and then says they're going to regroup and refigure it out, and they're going to come back stronger than ever and bigger than ever, and and myself included. And I'm like, okay, I don't know, I don't know if the extra 20 pounds actually made me any stronger than I was. You know, it's just
I don't know. Some people says like they are like what 44% stronger and this and that.
Some people.
I don't know. I read that many people talking about that.
But it's a nice thought to know, or to feel anyway, that people are going to be who I remember them being through 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I shouldn't be like falling into that trap of, oh my God, he's going to be the new guy. I mean, even with Devin, I mean, yes, Devin's bigger, he's stronger, but he was still pretty good at 220. You know, he's better. Yes, maybe a little bit here and there, but maybe it's mental, maybe it's the size and, you know, the intimidation of these things that all play a part. But realistically, I don't know if he's really, you know, any of us can really progress that much. I don't know.
I think that's the problem with arm wrestling. We cannot measure it. We really cannot measure. When someone says, I was in my best shape ever, and we look at the guys you beat, not how you felt, not how much you lifted, nothing. It just comes with that. And when you're like, you know, when you're Zoloev and you've been like winning WAF Worlds without any problem for this how many years, did really someone catch up to you, or you just a little bit weaker? Because before then, no one could touch you. Same thing, I think, with many arm wrestlers. And I think it's very weird. We cannot figure it out. Like, even if you talk with Giannis will say, well, I was stronger, I was lifting more, I felt healthier, you know, but I can still beat most of the guys because I was just still so much ahead of the pack.
Right, Raymond's both. It's not like either black or white, this subject, especially the health condition is very important.
Super
like, for
important.
example, your hand and wrist, it has been John's biggest weapon.
Yeah.
Throughout
and other factors, mental state, the situation, how you feel, like the wear and tear of your opponent. I mean, here I'll bring up referees again, but refereeing is very important. The setup is so critical. It can be so decisive one way or another of a smash match based on just how it got, you know, how the match got set up. I mean, you can have 50 guys in a room and everybody, the 50th guy could smash the 49th guy, the 49th could smash the 48th. Is there that big a gap between 1 and 50? It could be still pretty tight, but arm wrestling is closely contested. I mean, it's the strength thing. Yes, it's important, but also just so many other little
But
tiny
trust me,
factors.
the health part is to me most
The
important.
biggest. The biggest.
If you are hurt, trust me, area, you are not using that area. You are like, you can be 5 to 10%, less than who you were before. And if somehow you fix that problem, you can come back stronger. It's not because you are really stronger in muscle, but you are able to use the previously injured muscle group now, and that coordination is making you someone different, So
no, I've noticed that fact, and that's why I always kind of go back to, like, it's so much more important to be, not in great shape, but just well healed and rested. I mean, it's more important to have that extra week, that 3 weeks of doing absolutely nothing versus trying to squeeze in that extra couple extra workouts.
I think that's everyone wants, the last 2 weeks, they just want to more. I feel so strong. I should be lifting more. I should be arm wrestling more. And all you should be doing is chill, chill,
right.
let everything.
But you can't be an arm wrestler throughout the whole year, every year, if you're just doing super matches like that, always just chilling. So yeah, I guess there should be a season. You should be busting your ass for, the 4 or 5 months.
I don't think you rested before every competition. Some competition, you're like, I'll just, doesn't matter. You will have a workout on Friday, and Saturday you'll be on the tournament pulling 7 classes.
Right. Well, and in my mind, I use that as training device. That last super match I had a month ago, it put me in a kept me in a peak form for this next super match that I'm just basically resting. But at the end of the year, you realize that you didn't do any training. I mean, you just rested all year long trying to set yourself up for the next super match.
Yeah. Priorities. So this is why guys are pulling 2 tournaments in a year. We got to the root of that.
Right. But that mentally is what they need to feel like that's their best going in. That they need to have that training, and that, that's, to me, maybe it's not so much the physical part, but it's just the mental part.
So to me, the difference between like some of those guys and then the past is that some people were able to keep themselves at the top level almost all year long for many years. And while people today, they can only be in great shape, like maximum 3 times a year for a reason, this is how I see.
But is that just because they won't show up only 3 times a year? Is it the mental problem that they have, or is it really truly a physical problem that they couldn't compete all year? See, I think you need to have the mindset of, like, I'm just as good as I am, or as good or very close to the best shape when I'm in my best shape versus when I haven't been doing anything. And if you have that mindset, like, I'm still going to be really pretty close, then you just continue to just put yourself out there. You just keep saying, the guys can still do it. If you're questioning yourself and saying, well, I haven't done any training, my lifts are down, and I feel like I'll probably be weak, and I'm like, then you don't show up. And then
I don't think it's about the training, whatever. I don't want to talk. And so
and think about cycles we go through the life.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what I want to say that about Ryan, you explained that his wins against some of the North Americans, it's great. I consider Ryan, like good level arm master, but I don't consider him like some athletes like Sasho or
No. And it's
I'm just saying that you compare yourself and you would be like very scared or something, but your level, if you are in good shape, your name is even today can be mentioned. That's why you come into Istanbul to pull Zoloev. This is what I wanted to say.
Yeah. I'm just suggesting there's probably a couple dozen. You could probably find 100 guys in Europe that are explosively fast that will go right through Ryan. I'm just saying that Ryan has the ability and strength that if you're not careful, those same guys could be, stopped and then beat.
When you say like stop, like, do you think that like Zoloev hook him and they are stopped there? Do you think that he can do something? I mean,
I feel like John is sponsored by Pound for Pound.
The thing, maybe no. I just know what I've experienced, and like I said, it was even in my bad shape a couple 3 years ago, I feel like I was still I mean, testing myself against anybody that would ever show up, or when I would, let myself be handled. I was still fairly decent arm wrestler, and I just know that there are spots that I got myself into that I thought I had control, and I really didn't have control, and I ended up getting beat by the man. So,
John, I have a question for you. If you go to East and West, and then we finish it. First, I will ask you: do you see Devon's chance high versus Levan?
No.
Mm-hmm.
I just because I
think in any condition, like even if the setup is like 5 minutes.
No, because I think Levan is in really fantastic shape. He's young. He's got. I mean, he trains hard, so his cardio is going to be there. He's got the height. He's got the arm length to not have Devon really mess with him in that respect. He's got a super strong cup. I'm not even sure if Devon's like extended open arm top roll would be effective. That's the only way I can see him beating Levan, is if it sticks somehow.
What do you think what would be the best strategy if you would be Devon to beat Levan? Hook or top roll?
The same
top roll. I think he's gonna pull the same exact move he did with pulling the situation when he pulled Pushkar left-handed. He's just got to get out there and get it stopped. And if Levan's not ready to commit to a possible shoulder roll, if it stops, if he continues to pull outside and his cup is, even if he's secured his cup and he's taken Devon all the way close to the pad and it doesn't end, he's going to be in trouble. I mean, we saw, what
but
Devon
you don't
did.
think it's going to happen, right? But you don't think it's going to happen.
Well, I shouldn't say I don't, I as dominant as Pushkar was, I just remember watching that match and thinking, "Oh my goodness!" And then what happened to Pushkar afterwards? He turned into a little ragdoll.
He stopped pulling that WAF. He only continued pro, and that is whatever. But just I will tell you, John. In my opinion, honest opinion, Levan and Laletin is, in my opinion, about the Pushkar level right now. Because I believe like Pushkar beat Trubin in a super match 5-1 or 6-0 probably, whatever, and then at the Zloty tour, Trubin top rolled him, beat him once, and again I think he was beating him very little elbow foul they call on Trubin, and then he lost, and then another one Pushkar top rolled him probably next year, and he was beating Pushkar that way, and then he won. Pushkar fouled, I think. So what I'm just saying that Pushkar was better than Trubin, but there are two Zloty events I saw that it was like this between them.
Right.
And then I saw Levan
2017
in the year that he was still pulling WAF. You know what it means.
Mm-hmm.
And he beat Trubin 6-0. And after that, he became something like different level. And as you saw, the Vitaly Laletin easily beat Trubin 6-0. Right. And then also Levan beat Laletin 6-0. So in my opinion, just these two are just getting a little bit like,
Okay.
You know,
and I believe Levan, for sure. I believe Levan is the strongest person on the planet with his cupping ability, and that's what's going to be needed to beat the extended open top roll / King's move. That I think is Devon's only chance. I don't see Devon moving or having on a offensive hit in any direction, any way, shape, or form. If I was Devon, I would be for sure training that, that sticking point, that Michael Todd spot, and hope that it sticks there.
There is Power Rangers super chat. John, do the King's move on Engin.
I suck at the
John, if you ever do that, I will take every positive thing that I have told about you. Everything from the 90s to today, everything, I will take it back.
Yeah.
And then
I would never feel good, even if I could pull it off and actually get a win on you doing that. I would feel horrible.
And
Have nightmares the rest of my life.
Hamster said, imagine how good Rob Vision could be if he trained with Giannis and Ray for a year and got on juice and gained weight.
All these what ifs, all these excuses why Rob's not his full potential, right? I got it.
Yeah. We need arm wrestling worse, different scenarios. What would happen?
Yeah, what would happen? Oh my God, if you only would.
I will not say about Rob Vision, but I have seen many people that told me personally, Engin, if I train as hard as you did, I would have won more titles. This is but if I train harder than Michael Jordan, probably today you were talking about me like greatest of all times in basketball. You believe that?
Right. That's it's a good analogy.
Yo, you know how I wanted to start this?
If I just had parents that were basketball players, I could have been.
Do you guys have the same saying that if your aunt had the balls, that would be your uncle or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
If our aunt had wheels, she would be a bus. But I wanted to start this evening by saying good evening, LeBron and Michael.
Okay, John, what's your chance? Let's go with the East versus West and finish, because I don't want to take your time. I would keep you here as a prisoner for 5 hours. You know me.
I got
but
you.
I will not. I will have mercy on you.
All right.
Your chance versus Zoloev in an objective.
In a percentage way.
Yeah. Say honestly.
I'm honestly hoping that I don't get shut out. I'm going into this thinking that I'm the favorite, maybe, hopefully, to win the second match, and I just hope that it's quick enough and aggressive enough that he doesn't stick me in a spot where I get fatigued and get gas. And I know that's a real honest possibility, and I'm not saying that I'm not confident, but if I was objectively looking at it, I'm gonna say Zoloev 4-2.
It's 5 rounds. It's good. At least
only 5 rounds. Oh, so I gotta win 2. I'm gonna say Zoloev 3-2. I'm gonna have to go back and figure it out. And
yeah. But don't be upset. But I don't believe you. Okay, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to be aggressive.
Yeah,
quick.
And the Genadi versus Michael.
From what I saw of Genadi and the struggles that he had with Ermes, but I have a hard time figuring out how strong Ermes is. That's why I question Kardash's Alex's level. He might be the best on the planet right now. So I shouldn't let that affect my feeling towards Ermes. But Michael seems to be in very confident form. And if Michael's confident, I don't see him losing. It might be a difficult match. It might be a really long, exciting match, but for sure, I think Michael's going to prevail.
I understand. Do you know Tsonev from Bulgaria?
Who?
Yordan Tsonev. You don't know him, right?
No.
No.
And who's he pulling? Who's he pulling?
Hutchings.
Hutchings. I can't bet against. Like I said, there was a couple guys that are super hard hitting enough. Prudnik, maybe. Dave Chafee, that I would bet against Todd Hutchings.
This guy is I will give you some.
I don't care how strong he is. If he's slow, he's not going to beat Todd Hutchings.
This guy is a deep hook puller, and he is not super explosive. But he is good. But yeah,
he's not going to win. Then it might take Todd a little extra time, but he's not going to win.
There's absolutely no chance Yordan will top roll. I think no chance.
And he's not like Rustam Babayev, that explosive with the dominant hand. It's not. No. So the match is gonna stop for sure. So you are saying that no chance. Yeah. And do you know Artem Morozov?
I know the name. I know the name.
From Kazakh.
One that,
The 6'5", about right now is about 310.
Wow. Okay. And he's
Kody.
He looks like He pulls with Marcio Barboza and Kody
Oh.
Merritt, and this guy looks like he won Dragon.
Okay. Is he pulling Marcio or who's he pulling? Cody or Marcio?
Both Marcio
Both of
and
them.
Kody.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cody left, Marcio right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, big tall guys have a hard time with Marcio. Marcio is very dangerous with that. Well, Marcio's great in the hook, and he gets a lot of people in the hook because he's got great high hand back pressure. So people try to hang on to him, try to control that back pressure, and it ends up going inside. And yeah, it just depends on how, if that guy, the tall guy, utilizes his height and keeps his hand high. If he tries to, set up low and hang on to Marcio, Marcio's tough to beat.
You know what's interesting about you, John? You don't know much about the athletes that you didn't really need to know. Like, you understand? Like, people that you pulled, or people who pull very, how to say,
Specific way.
extraordinary way around where you are, and then it takes your attention. Other than that, I see you have never been curious who is doing what where in the world.
I haven't watched anything related to arm wrestling in the last 4 or 5 years, Ingrid. So I'm playing catch up. I mean, the last 5-6 months, I try to spend some time on social media and learn who these people are. I'm just amazed that you have such a ability to retain so many people and so many names. It's crazy.
I think
nobody does that
right now. You are at your best about knowing the athletes because you are so much connected with social media. I think in the past you were worse about the people.
Yeah, I know for sure.
You don't remember, right? 2004 Dream Team, the US Dream Team went to Zloty. You don't remember that, the idea came from me on the Northeast message board that, I said that US used to, make a team, and this is how you met Görner, you, Mike Selaris, and Christopher Myers, and then Travis, you, and I think Chad Silvers, all together. Right. You guys went there, yeah. You guys didn't know them. You didn't know really who Alexei Voivoda was.
Well, that was back in the day where arm wrestling was still pretty new to Europe, right? I mean, well, I guess not. I guess they were kind of introduced to the sport. They started getting good in the mid '90s, so I guess they were seasoned arm wrestlers. But still, to me, they were still pretty young compared to what it is now, right?
Yeah, I think when you are best in the world, you don't really care so much.
Yeah.
That's my opinion about it. Yeah,
it's just too much to try to retain.
I remember you versus Alan Karev that you grab him low and try to hook him, and he flash you, and then in the final you topple him, but you had a long match with Erekli Burshiani. Before that one, yeah.
He killed me.
Yeah. You were like. Good. Do you remember that match? Also, you didn't have the wrist. You also pull him with that way. You both were like back pressure to back pressure, and that was at those times we didn't see often you pulling that way without the wrist. Usually you dominate everything.
Yeah.
And
Erekli was by far the strongest guy that day. If the situation was any way different, I would have won or he would have won. I mean, Alan wasn't at the level that I was or Erekli was. We both kind of messed each other up that day. I truly believe that because after it wasn't that long before I had to go back and pull Alan. And I remember after Erekli, I was like rushed to the bathroom and my arm was under cold water trying to get that feeling back. I was like, oh my goodness, this is the end.
You still top rolled him. Top roll him, and he was almost touching with his shoulder to your hand. You still did a great job. I think you were there about like 230. At that time, when you are 230, you look like a tank. Now 230, you look normal. Like you are like seriously. Your 230 now looks like you're 209, in the past, because I think your fat percentage is now a little bit higher than past.
Yeah. My lower body weight probably is my legs were a little thinner when I was younger, I guess. So my upper body looked a little bigger.
Yeah. Anyway, so you want to ask anything, Ramos? We don't want to keep John a long time.
Yeah, but finishing question. Do you have anything left on your arm wrestling bucket list? Maybe a person or a match that you want to have or couldn't have?
No, that question was asked a couple of days ago, I think when I was talking to Ryan, and I guess I'm getting probably caught up a little bit into the social media thing. So when people start talking shit and I get interested in the trash talk and some of the hype and stuff, that gets me riled up, I guess, and that gets me excited. So like lately, because of all the, you know, the little, you know, negative stuff and you know, this, that, and the other, and criticism from Rob, that's kind of the guy that but I told myself when he kind of balked and said, I need to climb a few more or jump a few more hurdles, and who was I to be, you know, I'm like, all right, dude, I'm just never, ever going to pull you again. It's never going to happen no matter what. But now I'm still, I get back caught up in it. Like, I just want to just embarrass him, just shut him up. So, but yeah, so that'll probably be what prompts me to, you know, have any super matches or future matches. So if you want to have a match with me, you just need to talk trash on on Facebook. And
from like all those years, like I have not seen single person talk negative about you. I'm talking about like 30 years. But now on social media, I see people talks, some of the people talks disrespectful. It really bothers me. It really bothers me. I would understand someone talking negative about me.
But it works. It works. It works, and it's fun, and I think it's great for a promotion, and I accept it.
It doesn't bother you. It doesn't bother you. You don't see it like a headache. Oh, why did I come again? You know,
I giggle and I understand it, and it does affect me. It gets me riled up, but it's in a positive way. It's like, you know, it's like
that's good. That's good. I was worried about that. You were disturbed about it. All those some of the disrespect that you know people just like you are like crying about this or crying about rules or crying about it's not about like that. I mean, like people should have like more respect, because I mean it's not because I'm saying this to your face, but like 99% of the top athletes that people see around, they are inspired by you, John. Seriously, this is. I mean, I think that they should just show you everyone should show you the respect. But if it is motivating you, if it's helping you, then I'm more than fine. I thought that maybe you were thinking that I don't deserve this, and then
no. It doesn't affect me in that way. It actually makes me laugh sometimes when I read stuff. I think, oh, okay, thanks. I'll note it. Thank you. That's great information.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate that enlightenment.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much, John. You want to say anything? Last word?
No, I'm just super excited. I'll see you here in I guess it's 4 short weeks, right?
Yeah.
Today's 11.
4.5 weeks. Yeah. It will be great honor to see you, and then thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
And Raymond,
appreciate you having me.
Yeah.
Ray, it's always good to see you. I watch you on the. You don't get much word in either on the Neil Pickup Show either, so I'm sorry.
I'm just waiting for my openings.
All right.
I'm just like sometimes the voice of the reason, so I'm just.
No,
later.
You're definitely a positive addition.
Yeah.
So don't give up on it. You'll get your word in more as time progresses. So.
Yeah. Raymond has to be here, but for any like insurance, for anything. Anyways, you guys take care, and see you too in Istanbul.
Okay,
see you all in Istanbul.
Yep. Excited. I'll be there.
Okay, take care.
All right, bye.